All right, so in this video, we are going to look at why the league was so weak, and then we will also begin to look at how the international community tried to maintain peace after World War I was over. But that was supposed to be the job of the League of Nations, but unfortunately, it's really weak because of two reasons. The United States never joined, and since we were the richest country on the planet and one of the most powerful, that hurt its reputation, and one of the major powers is not involved. Also, they could not agree to use force to enforce anything because they were so hesitant to start another war. So when dictators began to abuse their authority and attack others, like Mussolini in Italy and Hitler in Germany, the League is not really going to do a whole lot to stop them. And then there was also this reparation crisis in 1923 where you saw the international community step up and actually solve a problem. What happened is Germany announced that it cannot pay its reparations. Remember, it had heavy reparations because of the Treaty of Versailles, but then they announced that they could not pay those reparations. In response, France takes over the Ruhr Valley in Germany, and all the factories and all the mines basically became French possessions. In response, the German workers of the Ruhr Valley went on strike, and then the German government wanted to encourage the workers, so they promised to pay the workers, but they didn't have money to pay the workers, so they literally started to make more money. They started to print money, but they printed so much money it flooded the market with German currency, and it devalued the currency, which meant it took more German money to buy anything, which meant prices go up, which caused rapid inflation and took 4.2 trillion German marks to equal the value of $1 in 1923. The international community realized that they had to help Germany, their former enemy, and stepped in with the Dawes Plan. So the Dawes Plan, what that did is it reduced Germany's overall reparations and it coordinated it with their ability to pay. And then it also gave them a $200 million loan to jumpstart their economy, which opened up the door to other foreign investment, particularly from the United States. So we felt pretty good about ourselves after that, helping a former enemy and stabilizing their economy. And from about 1924 to 1929, everything is pretty good in Europe. The economy is rebounding. It's at peace. There are other positive signs. You had the Treaty of Locarno between France, Belgium, and Germany. It settled the borders between those three countries, but the significance of it is former enemies sat down and peacefully solved a problem. Belgium and France sat down with their former enemy Germany, major enemy Germany, and peacefully solved the border problem. So that gave people hope of lasting peace, and that was followed up by the Kellogg-Briand Pact, where 63 countries pledged to not use war as a tool anymore to get what they want. The problem with the Kellogg-Briand Pact is there is no way of enforcing that pact or that promise. And you get to 1929, a lot of these good feelings are going to dissipate, are going to go away because the Great Depression begins in 1929. The Great Depression was a worldwide economic catastrophe. It was a disaster. And there are two basic causes of the Great Depression. You had a series of economic downturns in multiple countries at the same time. And one reason why multiple countries had economic downturns at the same time was because there was a crash in the U.S. stock market. The financial crisis in the United States triggered by the crash of the stock market. And when the stock market began to plummet, that affected the American financial system. Banks began to close, unemployment went up, investors got nervous and pulled their money out of foreign countries, making their economies suffer as well, like Germany. And all of a sudden, there's increasing unemployment throughout the world. And this sudden lack of prosperity kind of kills all the good feelings that were built up from 1924 to 1929.